Let's start by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times together. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Homage to the sublime, the victorious, the totally self-enlightened one. Okay, welcome everyone. So today we are going to continue with the objects of samatha meditation. So last time we have already finished with 3 categories, the 10 kasinas, the 10 asubha, which are the 10 different stages of decomposition of a dead body. And we have also finished 10 anusati, the recollections. So today we are going to start with the Appamaññā, limitless, which I think you might all be quite familiar with them. They are also called the Brahma Vihara, metta, loving kindness, karuna, compassion, mudita, sympathetic joy, and upekkha, equanimity. So here among the 40 subjects of meditation, they are called the limitless. So why are they called the limitless? Let's look at the Pali word. The Pali word Appamaññā comes from the word pamana. Pamana means limit. So Appamana means having no limit. So why is it called having no limit? That's because when we practice metta meditation or karuna or mudita or upekkha, we extend our loving kindness or our compassion or our sympathetic joy or upekkha towards all beings without limit. So all beings are the object of this meditation. Therefore, it is called the Appamaññā, the limitless here. So let's go to each of them with a little bit more details. Okay, so for metta, loving kindness, when we practice the metta meditation, what we are doing is that we are actually wishing for the welfare and happiness of all beings. And it helps to eliminate ill will. So ill will is the opposite, having ill will towards other people. I think most of you are quite familiar with this one, so I'm not going to explain too long. Then let's go to another one, which is karuna. Karuna is that which makes the heart quiver when others are suffering. That kind of feeling of compassion, when we see someone suffering, then we want to help them. It is the wish to remove the suffering of others, and it is opposed to cruelty. So for compassion, we have to be a little bit careful. Let's say if we see someone bullying other person, then we might get angry with the one who is the bully, no? So in that case, that karuna is no more karuna. It has been contaminated with dosa. And also, one have to be careful with oneself feeling sad, no? Because sometimes when we see someone suffering, then we tend to feel sad about the situation or for the being. So that will also be karuna being contaminated by sadness, no? So we have to find the good balance. This karuna, the main point is the wish or the feeling of wanting to help the person, wishing the person to be free from that kind of suffering, to be a pure karuna. So this one, karuna, sometimes can be a little bit tricky, so we have to be careful with it. Sometimes when sadness or anger gets too much, then it will be good that we also switch a little bit to upekkha to understand that beings have karma as their own property, you know. So sometimes if there is something that we can do, surely we want to help. But if there is nothing that we can do, we have also to understand the nature that all beings have their own karma. So if we cannot help, we should not fall into dosa, anger, or sadness. Okay, so that's karuna. And then let's go to the next one, which is mudita, sympathetic joy. Now, sympathetic joy is the quality of rejoicing at the success and prosperity of others. It is the congratulatory attitude, and it helps to eliminate envy. It's directly opposite with envy. Now, when we see someone that is successful and they have prosperity in their life, then we become happy for them. And then we wish that their success continue. We wish that they continue to be happy, continue to be prosperous. And so this kind of kusala mind is with mudita, and it is the opposite of envy. So when we cultivate mudita, then it helps to eliminate its opposite, which is envy. No? Okay, so we have the last one, which is upekkha, equanimity. Now, equanimity, when it is in the Appamaññā or when it is in the Brahmavihara, the divine abode, it is the state of mind that regards others with impartiality. It is free from attachment and aversion. So that means we see all beings to be equal, An impartial attitude is the chief characteristic, and it is opposed to favoritism and resentment. Now, for this equanimity, we have to be careful that it is not the upekkha vedana, no? Although it is associated with upekkha vedana, but in ultimate reality, this upekkha is tatramajatata, no? That chatasika, tatramajatata, which is the balance, no? The impartiality, this quality. We don't especially like the person more if they are nice to us, or we don't dislike the person more because they are not nice to us like that. So everyone is equal. So this is the quality of equanimity, impartiality, no? Opposed to favoritism and resentment. Okay, so now these for Appamaññā, the limitless, previously we have also looked at it in previous chapters, and we have introduced it their far enemy and their close enemy. For loving kindness, its far enemy, it's very obviously ill will. It's the total opposite of loving kindness. And the close enemy is actually desire and attachment. Why is it called far enemy and close enemy? It's called far enemy because it's total opposite. It's directly totally different from each other, no ill will and metta. But close enemy, it is called close enemy because metta can sometimes be confused with desire and attachment. Well, so when we think we have metta towards someone, sometimes the metta, loving kindness, can be contaminated with lobha or with attachment or desire. No? We like this person, but we think it is pure metta, but maybe there are some kind of attachment there also. No, so it happens a lot for parents and to children, between spouses, and we have kind of expectation. We love that person, we wish their goodness, but also we are attached to them. No, so that metta. There are metta also, but it's not totally only metta. There is attachment. So we have to be careful more with the close enemy, actually. So desire and attachment is the close enemy for metta, loving kindness. And for karuna, as we explained a little bit earlier, the total opposite is cruelty. And the close enemy is sadness. Dosa in general, no? Or getting angry with the person who inflict the suffering to other person. So this is sadness. Then for mudita, the direct opposite, far enemy, is envy. And the close enemy is happiness based on sense pleasure. So what does this one mean? That means when we are being happy or joyful for other people's success, sometimes we fall into this kind of happiness that are based on sense pleasure. So we say, yes, let's celebrate. We should go have some good food. No, let's party or something. So not purely only the good wish for the other person to continue to be prosperous and continue to be successful, etc. Okay, so for upekkha, obviously the very opposite, direct opposite, are desire, aversion, and indifference. Close enemy is ignorance. Because sometimes when we don't know anything, when we are deluded, we also feel like it's okay. Well, we are kind of impartial, let's say, in a way, because we don't know. Because we don't know. That is based on ignorance, not based on paññā, not based on wisdom. This upekkha, it is based on the understanding that everyone is the owner of their own karma. So we are responsible for oneself. We're responsible for our own karma, our own actions. So that's why we have equanimity in this case. We're impartial in this sense, but not because we are deluded and we don't know about anything. No? So whichever way it may be. So not like that. So this is the close enemy. Okay, so these four are called the Appamaññā, or the four Brahma Viharas. So let's go to another one. Then we move on to Saññā, perception. And this perception is especially referring to the perception of the loathsomeness of food. So how do we practice this and what do we contemplate about? There are a few different aspects that we can contemplate on. The first one is the difficulty of searching for food. Now, we all know that it's not easy to obtain food. No? For example, for monks, when they go to alms round, they walk barefoot to the village in order to get food. And sometimes the road might not be very, very good. They might step on stones, thorns, etc. The road might be muddy. From the forest to the village, there might be wild animals. And sometimes when they arrive to the village, sometimes people greet them, sometimes people offer respectfully, or sometimes people might not be respectful. So it's not easy to obtain food for monks. And for lay people, it's the same thing. It is not easy to obtain food. We all know that most of the people have to work very hard in order to gain money and to buy food. And also, even if we have food, then still we have to go through the process of preparing, cooking, and all this thing in order to have something to eat, right? So we can contemplate on the difficulty for searching food. That is the first aspect of this contemplation, the perception of the loathsomeness of food. Now, there are also other aspects. So a little warning that some images is going to come up that might not be very pleasant. The other aspect that we can contemplate on is the loathsomeness of chewed up food. So if we chew, like when we eat, we chew, in the mouth. So if we look at it, actually, it's quite disgusting, the food that is being chewed up. Say if we chew up something and we split it out, if you look at it, do you want to eat that thing that you split out again anymore? Not really, it's not so nice anymore. So that is also another aspect of loathsomeness of food. Now, when we eat, usually in the beginning, the food looks very good, very yummy. But as it moves downwards into the system, then it slowly becomes very loathsome. In reality, this is how it actually happens. We all know. And when it gets to the stomach, it gets digested, goes through the intestine, and at the end of the digestive process, it becomes excretion. It becomes feces. So this is the reality of food, what it becomes at the end, right? So this is the perception of the loathsomeness of food, which we can contemplate on. The difficulty of getting food, all the work that we have to do to prepare. Sometimes it takes like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours to prepare a meal, and it takes 15 minutes to finish it. So a lot of effort, a lot of work, and we have to work hard to gain money. And for the monks also to do alms round, it's not easy. Then the loathsomeness of food, chewed up food, then how it is being digested, and at the end it becomes excrement. Now we may say it, but why? Why do we have to contemplate on the loathsomeness of food? That's because there is one type of tanha, attachment, which is called rasa tanha, the attachment to taste, and that is very strong in all of us, actually. most of the people, I think most of the people, we do like eating. We enjoy when we eat. We want to eat this, we want to eat that. And we enjoy the taste, we enjoy the atmosphere, the company, and everything. We are attached to the taste, to eating. And it is very hard to get rid of this kind of attachment. That's because we must eat in order to survive. So it is not like okay, if I am attached to looking at movies, so watching movies, so okay, I just don't watch movies. I don't die if I don't watch movies, but if I don't eat, I die. So we have to eat. Many people eat 3 times a day, some 2 times, some 1 time, some even 5 times, including snacks and tea time and all this. So this attachment to taste is very strong. That's why it is recommended that we can also practice this ahare patikula saññā, the perception of the loathsomeness of food, in order to reduce our attachment to food and to taste. Okay, so this is one of the object of meditation for samatha meditation. And then we can now go to the next one, which is called the Vavaṭṭhāna. Vavaṭṭhāna, the analysis of the 4 elements. Now, you're all very familiar with the 4 elements: earth element, water element, fire element, and wind element. And how is this meditation being done? Now, this analysis of the 4 elements involves the contemplation of this body, as compound out of the 4 great elements. So we contemplate that this body is made up of the 4 elements itself. In the Visuddhimagga, it is explained that it can be done with the help of the contemplation of the 32 parts of the body. Earlier, we have seen these 32 parts of the body, right? So in the Visuddhimagga, it is said that we can take these 32 parts of the body and separate them into different groups and then contemplate. It is said that the first 20 parts of the body are earth element prominent. So say the head hair, body hair, nails, teeth, and so on. Earth element is more prominent in these parts of the body. So therefore, we can contemplate these parts of the body, putting emphasis on the earth element. So we contemplate the body, which is made up of these parts, and these parts are of earth element. And then the other 12 parts are said to be water element prominent. So we can contemplate and see water element in these different parts of the body. And then for air element, we can practice with the mindfulness of breath. We make use of the same anapana, but now we focus on the air element of it, the moving of the air in and out like that, but not the concept, right? And for fire element, we can contemplate on the body temperature. For digestion, there is also heat. So this digestive heat, or when we do exercise, the body becomes hot. And also, actually, people do get old because of this tejo, because of fire element. It matures the body, it goes through the aging process. So this is the fire element of the body. When we analyze and see this body to be made up of these 4 elements, the notion of this compactness becomes less and less. It will be very helpful to understand the anatta nature. We understand that there is no substance or no abiding entity to this body. There's no person there, no man, no woman. It's only just the 4 elements that they are doing their job. They're just elements arising and disappearing, arising and disappearing according to their own conditions. And this type of meditation will become a very good base for vipassana, when we analyze the 4 elements in this way. Now, although we are talking about samatha meditation, but we all know that some of these objects, when we practice with these objects, some of them will lead to higher jhanas, but some of them will not lead to any kind of jhana. And this Vavaṭṭhāna is one that will not lead to any kind of jhana because it involves a lot of contemplation, and also it is taking ultimate reality as its object. So it will not lead to jhana, but it will lead to a very high concentration, which is a very good base for vipassana meditation. Okay, so that's the Vavaṭṭhāna, the analysis of the 4 elements. Now let's go to Arūpa. Arūpa object. Now for the Arūpa object, we have seen them many times in previous chapters. So I'm just going to name the 4 of them. I'm not going to go into details anymore. We know that these 4 objects are only for the Arūpa jhanas. So after the person goes through all the Rupa jhanas, and when he or she continues to practice for the Arūpa jhanas, and they will take these 4 specific type of Arūpa jhana objects. The first one is called the infinite space, and the second one, the infinite vijnana, the chitta, which is actually the chitta that takes the infinite space as object. No. So infinite space itself is a concept, but this chitta is actually not the concept here. So it is the chitta which take the infinite space as the object. Okay, then we go to the third one. The third one is the non-existence of the first vijnana. So the non-existence of this chitta that is taking the object of that infinite space. And then we have the nirvāsaññā saññāyatana, the chitta that has neither perception nor non-perception. So these are the 4 types of Arūpa jhana objects, which we have studied already previously. Okay, so with this, very quickly, we have gone through all the 40 types of objects of the samatha meditation, which are the 10 kasinas, the 10 asubhas, the anusati, 10 recollections, Appamaññā, limitless, the 4 limitless, Saññā, the perception of the lawsomeness of food, Vavaṭṭhāna, the analysis of the 4 elements, and the Arūpa jhana object, the 4 Arūpa jhana object. So here we have already covered all the 40 types of the objects for samatha meditation. So up to here, all good? Any question?
No.
Okay. Now, in this chapter 9, after introducing the 40 types of the different objects, what comes next are the temperaments, the different temperaments. So as we have mentioned a little bit before, that there are 6 types of temperaments that are being mentioned in the Visuddhimagga. So we are going to look at this now. Meditation objects and the temperaments. So we have 6 types. The first type is called the raga chariya, a lustful temperament, which is a temperament which is more tend towards desire. And we have dosa chariya, hateful temperament which is have more tendency to dosa. Then we have the moha chariya, ignorant temperament that is more diluted, tendency towards delusion. Then we have sada chariya, which is faithful temperament. So it is temperament which have more tendency towards confidence and trust. And then we have buddhi chariya, intellectual temperament. So more tendency towards paññā, towards wisdom, intellectual. And then we also have vitakka chariya, the discursive temperament. So the temperament that has strong tendency towards discursive thinking. Yeah. So we have these 6 kinds of temperaments, and it is said that in the Visuddhimagga itself that this kind of explanation is not found in the Pali text. So they are only opinions of teachers. It is said that different people have different kinds of temperaments. Although it is classified only into 6 kinds here, there are more than 6 kinds of personalities, obviously, in this world. And most of us will not only have just one kind of temperament, but a mixture of 2 or 3, sometimes. So there are much more. But this section we will deal with only these 6 temperaments, and for each kind of temperament, what kind of meditation object is suitable. Although it is not found in the Pali text itself, it can be a good reference for us to look at. Now here, there is also something very interesting. For the raga chariya and the sada chariya, well, you see that they are put together parallelly, So for these 2, and then these 2 and these 2, they actually forms kind of a pair here. So we will see for Raga Chariya and Sada Chariya. Why do we say that they are kind of like a parallel pair here? It is because both of them share some kind of similarity in some ways. So these two, and these two. Now we will go into details. For the Ragacharya and Sadacharya, both of them involved a favorable attitude towards the object. Say when we are attached to something, of course, we like that thing, we have a favorable attitude towards the thing that we like, that we are attached to. And when someone has sada towards something, we also have a favorable attitude, like positive and good attitude towards that thing, So in this sense, both of them have this kind of attitude towards the object that it takes. So therefore, they are said to be a parallel pair here. It does not mean that they are the same, but it just means that they have similarity in this sense. And for dosa chariya and buddhi chariya, they also form a parallel pair in the sense that dosa and panya have this common nature of turning away from objects. How? So when we don't like something, when we have dosa towards something, we obviously push it away. We don't want it. So we turn away from that object that we don't like. But it is said that panya, wisdom, also turns away from object, but not because we don't like it or because we hate it, but it is because we see the suffering nature or the impermanent nature or the selfless nature, and also the loathsomeness or the fullness of these things. And wisdom understand that it is not worth attaching to it, and therefore we turn away from wisdom, turn away from this object. So in this sense, both dosa and panya have the nature of turning away from the object. But of course, with a very different reason, no? One because we don't like it, the other one's because we understand it, yeah? Okay. Then we come to moha chariya and vitaka chariya. So the ignorant temperament and the discursive temperament. And these two, they are also similar in nature because moha is diluted and vitaka is distracted. So when the mind is diluted, the mind cannot hold the object properly, cannot know, with a lot of delusion, the mind cannot properly take the object. And when the mind is thinking too much vitaka, too much discursive thinking, we also cannot hold the object well. The mind is jumping here and there, thinking about this and that. And so both of them do not know the object well. Therefore, it is said that these two forms are parallel pair in this sense. They share a similarity in nature. Now let's go to each of them and see what type of meditation object is suitable for this type of personality. Now, in the Visuddhimagga, there are much more details about these 6 temperaments. It also says that how do we know whether a person is of which kind of temperament? No, so it explains a little bit more in the Visuddhimagga. For example, it says that we can look at how he or she eats, or the way the person sweep the floor, or the way how the person walk. With these little details, one can guess. No, we can never say it exactly. Only the Buddha, he will know, but that can give a little clue or a little bit of idea, for us to define which kind of tendency we have. And so we can choose the meditation object that might be suitable for that kind of temperament. Okay, so for Ragacharya, for lustful temperament, it is said that the Asubha practice, so the 10 types of the different stages of the decomposition of the corpse, and the Kaya Gata Sati, the 32 parts of the body, are suitable for a Ragacharya person, for a lustful temperament, because it can help the person diminish the lust or the desire or attachment towards the body, one's own body and the body of the other. Now, there are more details to it. For example, for the Asubha, according to the Visuddhimagga, each of this stage of the decomposition is actually suitable for a meditator who is attached in a particular way to their own body or the body of the others. For example, For one who is attached to the shape or the form of the body of oneself or of others, then it is said that the bloated corpse will be a suitable meditation object for the person who has attachment towards the shape or the form of the body. And for a person who is attached to the color of the body, so like the fair skin, like the color, the redness, or like this color of the body, it is said that the livid corpse is suitable for those who are attached to the color. And then for those who are attached to the smell of the body, or the perfume, like many people use different scent or perfume that we are attached to the body with this kind of good smell, then it is said that the festering corpse is suitable for this type of person. And then sometimes there are people who are attached to the solidness or compactness of the body, So for this type of person who have attachment to this, the dismembered corpse will be a suitable meditation object. So you see, so it's like the opposite, So when we are attached to the compactness of the solidness of the body, so it's good to contemplate on it. When it gets like dismembered or like scattered into different parts, we contemplate on the opposite of it. Then it is said that for those who are attached to the accumulation of flesh in such part of the body, such as the breast, then it is suitable for this type of person to contemplate on the eaten corpse. And then for those who are attached to the grace of the limbs, it is good for them to contemplate on the scattered pieces of the corpse. And then those who are attached to a fine body as a whole, then it will be good to contemplate on the corpse that is mutilated into pieces, different pieces. Then for those who are attached to the elegance of the body produced by ornaments, like when sometimes when we put on jewelries and ornaments, then we feel that this body is so elegant and so beautiful. If one have attachment towards this, then the bleeding corpse is suitable. Then when a person is attached to the ownership of the body, we say, this is my body. No, mine, like that, then it is good to contemplate on the worm-infested corpse. And then sometimes some people are attached to the fine teeth, think that this teeth is very tidy and beautiful and like that. And for those persons who have this kind of attachment, it's good for them to contemplate on the skeleton of the body. So to see that it is actually just a pile of bones, It goes into further details for which type of attachment and which kind of remedy or the counterpart of the meditation or contemplation that it will be helpful for us to diminish specifically that kind of attachment. So if you're interested, you can read the Visuddhimagga chapter 6. There are much more details about these different types of meditation. Okay, so let's go to dosa chariya. For a person who have a hateful temperament, dosa prominent, it is said that the practice of the 4 Appamaññā, the 4 limitless, will be helpful to get rid of hate. So when we practice metta, obviously, very, very obviously, this direct opposite of hatred, of hatefulness. So metta will be very good for people who have this type of temperament, dosa temperament. And karuna also, we are developing a tender heart, tender mind for other people, be happy for others, and also equanimity. So the 4 Appamaññā is suitable for dosa chariya. And then also the color kasinas, Nila, Pita, Lohita, and Odata is also said to be helpful and suitable for dosa chariya, because when the mind looks at the color, minds become happy. And so this kind of meditation object will help the person get rid of dosa. So it is helpful for them. Okay, so let's see what is suitable for the moha chariya and vitaka chariya. So it is said that anapana, the mindfulness of breathing, meditation is said to be the opposite of moha as well as vitakka. Now, when a person is too much deluded, it will be very hard for the person to concentrate. Also, when the mind it's very distracted, thinking about this, thinking about that, discursive thinking, it's also hard for the person to get concentrated. So it is said that with this neutral object for the anapana, it will help the person, whether it's mohacharya or vitakacharya, to concentrate. Okay, so up to here, we have seen ragacharya, lustful temperament, dosacharya, hateful temperament, mohacharya, ignorant temperament, and vitakacharya, thoughtful temperament. And you might have noticed that so far, the meditation object which is suitable for them are the objects that can counteract with the temperament, no? Right? So for example, for lustful temperament, in order to counteract the lust, then we have to look at the non-beautiful parts of the body. And so it directly counteracts with that kind of temperament. Now for dosa, so when we practice metta and we practice that with the color kasina that delights the mind and makes the mind happy, so it counteracts directly to dosa. And for moha and vitakacharya, keeping the mind concentrated on the breath, mindfulness of breathing will counteract the ignorant or the discursive thinking. So we have seen how the objects help eliminate that kind of tendency. No? Now, for the other types of temperament, which is the sadacharya and also the buddhicharya, the intellectual temperament, the approach is a little bit different because sada is something that is good. No, we don't have to counteract it. No, so we have to get some objects that actually reinforce the practice that reinforce this tendency, no, to build more faith. No? Okay, so for sadacharya, for a person who has a good tendency towards confidence and trust and faith, then it is good for them to practice the anusati, the recollection, especially the recollection of the quality of the Buddha, the recollection of the quality of the Dhamma, the recollection of the quality of the Sangha, as well as the recollection of one's own pure sila, the recollection of one's own generosity, the recollection of one's good quality. So this kind of recollection reinforce the sada of the person. No? We know that this is good, and then it will also encourage the mind to do more this kind of good actions. No? So it is said that for sadacharya, this kind of meditation object will be very helpful and will be easy for the person who has sadacharya to concentrate their mind on. Okay, we have different kinds of meditation objects which are suitable for this intellectual temperament. People who are more prone to thinking with wisdom, analyzing or understanding. So among the 40 subjects, there are some of them that needs a little bit more understanding in order to be able to practice it, and a little bit more preparation. For example, the recollection of death, marananusati. It is also said that the recollection of peace, of nibbana, of how nibbana, how peaceful and calm nibbana can be, upasammanupasana, is also suitable for intellectual temperament, as well as the ahare patikula saññā, the perception of the loathsomeness of food, and the Chatudadu Vavaṭṭhāna, analysis of the 4 elements. So analyzing whatever in the body in terms of the 4 elements. And so these meditation objects are suitable for those persons who have an intellectual temperament. Now we have seen all the different types, the 6 types of temperament, as well as which type of meditation object is suitable for which type of person. There are actually more objects, no? So some of the objects haven't come up yet. For example, the 10 kasinas, Patavi, Abo, Tejo, and Vayo, kasina. And then we also have the space kasina and the light kasina, aloka kasina. And then we have the 4 Arūpa objects, no? So these ones are said to be suitable for all temperaments. So whether a person is with raga chariya, dosa chariya, moha chariya, sada chariya, buddhi chariya, or vitaka chariya, whichever temperament it may be, these objects are suitable for everyone. So everyone can take this practice. And also, of course, if a person is practicing for Arūpa jhāna, that means he or she has already gone through the 5 Rūpa jhāna already. No? So with such a mind, then whatever temperament it may be, then to practice Arūpa jhāna, I don't think there will be any problem. No? So this Arūpa object is suitable for whatever temperament. There is a little detail here. It is said that if a person is of moha chariya, it is recommended that if he used a kasina object, that his kasina is a little bit bigger than usual. And if a person is of vitaka chariya, he tends to think a lot, that it is recommended that his kasina object to be a little bit smaller than usual. Probably because if a person is with moha, it's difficult for the mind to concentrate, so they need a bigger object. So here, let's pay attention to this. No? So the mind pay attention to this kasina, the big kasina object. And if a person has tendency to think a lot, discursive thinking, then if the object is too big, or if it's normal, then the mind might get into the details. Or there is a fingerprint here, or it is like this, it is like that. So the mind get distracted. So it is said that it is better to have the object a little bit smaller than usual. So that's the recommendation. All right, so up to here, we have finished with the 6 types of temperaments and which type of meditation object is suitable for which temperament. Okay, so far, do you have any question?
For example, the bodhicharya type of person, if they want to increase their faith, for example, should they practice the recollections of the qualities of the Buddha? I mean, should they mix? Because
yes, thank you for your question. It is actually an important point, because although it is said that there are specific objects which is helpful for specific temperament, it does not mean that people who are of other temperaments should not practice the other types of meditation object. Just like Eddie said, if a person wants to cultivate more sada, then of course it will be good to practice the recollection of the qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha in order to cultivate and to develop this kind of sada. If a person is, let's say, bodhicharya, but surely sometimes this type of person also get attached to something, no? So we all have the different temperaments. So not only one type is only this type, no. So when the person with intellectual temperament have desire for the body or oneself or others, then it will be good to contemplate on the asubha or on the 32 parts of the body for sure. So we all have a mixture of all these, I think. Is there anyone here who can say that I am dosa chariya, I never get loba, or I have no moha, or I do not think? It's not possible, no? We all have some of this. We all sometimes get attached, and we all get dosa and moha, surely, until we get fully enlightened. Moha is always there. But also, we also have good quality. We also have different levels. Some people might have more, some people might have less sada. We all think, we all have some kind of wisdom. In order to understand the Buddha's teaching, we must have some kind of Saññā, no? And also, many times we also think about this and that, right? So we all have these different qualities, good or bad. Sometimes for a specific person, one of this or two of this or three of this might be more prominent. So let's say a person is usually more dosa type, but sometimes also get lustful, sometimes also think about different things, sometimes also have intellect. So therefore, it is not only this type of person should practice this. No, we all should practice all of them if possible, but just some of them is more suitable in different situations, even for the same person in different period of time or in different situation. There is no meditation object that is not good, because all meditations that can help reduce our defilements and improve our good quality, improve sada, improve mindfulness, improve concentration, and improve wisdom, it is good. Right? So welcome. So anyone else? Any other question?
Yes, for me it was a bit unclear, the intellectual temperament. Yeah. Is that related in any way with the knowledge?
For example, a person who is more analytical, who likes to think about things, is generally less easy to have confidence and faith, not so easily, because they think about a lot of things and they're more skeptical. The Buddhi type of person are those types of persons who are fond of analysis or fond of thinking. For example, the recollection of death. It is suitable for this type of person who likes to think. So if a person have this type of tendency, then it will be helpful for them in the sense that if I remember that I'm going to die, I feel the sense of a push of like, do something about it, no? Do something about your life. Like, because we are thinking, no, we are not forever. We are going to die one day. In this sense, for this type of person, it's helpful. But sometimes there are persons that never think about death. They do not like to contemplate on this kind of topics. Maybe they are more easily delighted if they are doing chanting, let's say. It calms their mind and they feel good about it and like that, rather than thinking about death, let's say. So I do not know how to explain it in a better way, but this is a little bit the personality of the person, the tendency.
Yeah, it helped a lot and it makes sense. I never thought that those two were excluded. So
yeah. Oh, well, surely for a person who likes to think, that doesn't mean that that person has no sada. They are not like opposite to each other. But I mean, sometimes a person have one temperament more prominent than the other type only. But we all have all, no? Because to be wise, one must also have sada, no? If we have no faith, no confidence, we cannot develop wisdom also. They have to work together.
Yes, because sometimes having the knowledge increases your faith.
Yes, of course. And that's wisdom working also.
Yes.
Because of understanding. Yeah. Thank you, Sanda. Yes, Amar?
So that's more skeptical people, right? And here, I don't think it's a paññā, you can say it, right? It's basically they don't have a inside wisdom, right?
Now, remember there are these three types of different wisdom also. Suttamaya Paññā, Chintamaya Paññā, and also Bhavanamaya Paññā, no? So if a person that is have intellectual tendency, bodhicharya, then maybe the person is also Suttamaya Paññā or Chintamaya Paññā also can be strong also. But although the person might not yet have Bhavanamaya Paññā, experiential wisdom yet, but because they have that tendency towards analysis or the understanding, so it is helpful when they practice to get Bhavanaya Paññā also. So not only skeptical, so it is not in a negative sense. Is it okay, Amar?
Yeah.
Later on, in the end of the chapter, we will see that a person can get enlightened by different ways. No, some people are more sada prominent, some people are more paññā prominent, and some people are more effort prominent. No, they all get enlightened, but their strength is different. No? Let's say for our Buddha, Gautama the Buddha, he is a paññā type of person. So therefore, it took him 100,000 kappa to become a Buddha, no? Because he's paññā type person. Some Buddha are sada type also. And some Buddha are also viriya type also, no? So for those Buddha, it will take longer for them to become a Sammasambuddha, no? So just temperament or the personality. Yeah. Thank you, Amar. Okay. Anyone else? Okay, let's see what the chat said something. Thank you for sharing, Claudia. Yeah, I think we all have different types of personality in different time, right? So as we said, that not only one type, it's all mixed. We all sometimes have more loba, sometimes we have more dosa, sometimes we more moha, sometimes we think a lot or vitaka. So we all need different types of tools, no? So we can make use of different types of meditation object according to the situation. So, all right.
And a quick question, but when you realize that you switch between a personality to another one, how do you then practice meditation? You switch also the object of your meditation, or
it depends. It depends on what we are practicing. For example, if we are practicing samatha meditation, it is not recommended that we switch. We jump from object to object very frequently. It is not suggested, because then it will be very hard to develop the concentration on the object, no? Samatha meditation. So if you think that sometimes I'm not sure which temperament I am, then take the kasinas. It's good for everyone, no? Or take something that is a neutral, no, more neutral, that is good for everyone. Then you don't have to be jumping from one to the other, no. But if we are practicing vipassana, then it is different, because the object of meditation for vipassana can change all the time. No, as long as we keep the concentration strong, and then we keep watching the ultimate reality and understanding, then it's okay that the object changes as long as it is ultimate reality, no? We're looking at dosa itself or loba itself, but not the concept of it, no? But for samatha meditation, it's good to stay with the same object without changing frequently. Is that okay?
sometimes I realize that when I meditate, almost the whole hour is gone, and I was just thinking about stuff. So sometimes it's a little bit frustrating.
Yeah, it happens. So we have to, in that case, I suggest we try to train the mind. Whenever we catch the mind thinking, then come back to a neutral object and don't follow the story, but also have awareness of what the mind is doing at that time, no?
Yes, definitely. This is true. The only thing is that when I catch it and I know that I'm thinking, then I get frustrated, because I know that this doesn't keep happening all the time, that I keep thinking the moment after. So, it's like, and sometimes because of this frustration, I just enjoy the thinking. So I keep thinking.
So my meditation teacher, Sayadaw Tejaniya, he says that when we practice, when we are trying to cultivate mindfulness, then at that time, when you realize that you are thinking, be happy. Don't be frustrated, because that means that you are having mindfulness at this moment. If not, you don't know you are thinking. Yeah, so instead of getting frustrated, you should be thinking, oh, I was gone, but now I'm here. Yeah, however much time, it doesn't matter. Every time you come back, every time be happy. Oh, I'm back. No, otherwise I'm totally lost, right? So the more time you realize that you are gone, that means your mindfulness is getting better, because you are realizing more. Otherwise, like you will be gone the whole hour without even realizing. But every 10 minutes you realize, then later every 5 minutes you realize, every 3 minutes you realize. That means your mindfulness, it's getting a little bit sharper. You're catching it quicker, no? So be happy about it. First thing, no? And then second thing, if you know that you're enjoying the thinking, so you're not totally lost, because you know you're enjoying it. So step back, one step, and watch the mind that is enjoying it. Don't watch the story. No, see the attachment, not the story is not your object. The mind that is enjoying those stories is your object. Watch how the mind is enjoying it. Why is it enjoying it? What is it attached to? Be curious and investigate. No, if you are doing vipassana, because we are not trying to not think at all. No, we are trying to not think unwholesome thoughts. But for vipassana meditation, thinking sometimes is also necessary. Without thinking, how can wisdom ever arise? That's why samatha meditation is not for wisdom. Now, if we concentrate on only one object, at that time, the hindrances are not there are wisdom also, it's good. But if we want to cultivate wisdom, we must look, we must observe, we must think what's going on. We need understanding, no? I think it's very interesting. Like if we find out why the mind is attached to this story. What does it like about it?
Thank you very much. Your advice is very useful. Thanks.
Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, yes, Edith.
Yeah.
I just wanted to quickly appreciate and thank Lavanga's message, because it was a very nice one that you shared in our WhatsApp chat.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. I am also very happy to receive that email. Sometimes we don't realize, but some other people are getting benefit from our sharing. So it's very good. We should be happy about it. Yes, Sanda?
Yeah, it's I think you can classify it as a sharing. I mean, we had a talk with Edith and about the temperaments a couple of months ago, maybe. And what I found out was that even though my mind would place myself in some categories, what she observed from outside was something different. And that's why I'm thinking maybe our view of ourselves, it's a bit unclear. And I don't know if I know correctly, but for samatha, it's very important to have a teacher, and maybe their observation is more objective, and they might need to point you to some meditation.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah, yes. Yes, I agree. I agree totally with what you said, because sometimes the way how we view ourselves might not be very objective also. And sometimes from the outside, people can also give a different perspective. But definitely a meditation teacher will be very helpful.
We only have our own experiences, and we think that something it's more permanent that it actually is. For instance, I think we all think are more lustful because we enjoy food and sensual pleasure, because it's so prominent in all of us, and we are seeing it like maybe we consider it's only us that we are that attached or something like this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for your sharing. Yeah, I believe that we all have awe anyway. So yeah, so it's not this temperament, it's only like a reference, or give us some idea of what would be good for what type of temperament. But I think it's very hard to definitely decide that, oh, I am this type forever, no? Like, so because we all have different qualities and different levels, no? So yeah. So depends on the situation, and in time we can choose the object that we think is more helpful. Sometimes if we do not immediately have a teacher to ask, like, what type of meditation object should I take? No, if we do not have this opportunity at the moment, but we want to practice something, I think we can try a different type. Like we can from the list, from the 40 types, we can choose a few that we are attracted to. Let's say, oh, maybe I want to try Anapana, or maybe I want to try color, or maybe I want to try metta. No, so pick a few one that you are interested and practice and see how it goes. No, like which one goes better and which ones it's more efficient, and maybe just do experiments with different types. No, or some types that, oh, this is so difficult, it just doesn't go anywhere, so maybe it's not so suitable for me, maybe I'll try another one. And so just make experiment for ourselves and see and find out which one is good. No, then when we choose, oh, this one seems like it's quite okay, so maybe then stay with that for some time and see how it goes. No? Then later on, maybe when we have the opportunity, consult with the teacher and see how we are going. Yes, Edith.
I also, when you were presenting the different types that one personality type would take, I felt like, oh, unknowingly, I was picking the objects that were in the same category that I would. So, I mean, is there like a natural inclination towards those types of meditation types that like complement this
It could be, yes. So if the mind it's already have that kind of tendency, then it is quite natural, no, that that we are attracted to that kind of objects, no. So it works that way also. But as we said last time also, if we think that the mind has some kind of resistance towards some kind of object, that will be good that we take a look at also, because that might be the part, the counterpart that we do not want to look at, no? Like Loba do not want to look at the unbeautiful side of the body or of thing, but because it can counteract with it, so if we have resistance, it's also good to look at it sometimes, no? If we still have like kind of 10 minutes, if you have something else that you want to discuss, we can do this, or otherwise we can close a little bit early today. No? Okay, we will continue next week. We will look at how jhana is being developed, and then we will look at also the 40 types of object, which type can lead to which type of jhana. Okay, all right, so thank you very much, everyone. And let's share merit and also dedicate our effort for the attainment of Nibbana. Itam no punyam Nibbanassa paceyo hotu. Itam no punyam Nibbanassa paceyo hotu. Itam no punyam Nibbanassa paceyo hotu. Itam no punyam Savasatanam bhajima. Itam no punyam Savasatanam bhajima. Itam no punyam Savasatanam bhajima. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. Thank you, everyone. See you next week.
Thank you very much. See you.
Thank you.
Thank you.